All right, greetings and welcome to the Zero Hour Squared Classics as well as 94.5 KTBL The Pit. We are joined by two very, very cool, how should we put it, thrash queens of New Mexico, or how about metal mamas and deadly aunties? Yeah, you know who we're talking about right now. We have on with us Channing Concho and Amanda Castillo from Suspended. And they have a show coming up this Saturday night over at the Launchpad. They have a CD release party. The brand new album is entitled Tales of the Slain. This party is May 9th, Saturday night, like I said. Doors are at 6. It is 21 and over, $15. Taj from Grants will be with them. Jacob Shije Trio, Smoking Dolls, and All Thicc are on the bill. Ladies, welcome to the show. How you all doing?
Good. Thanks for having us.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks for coming by. Appreciate it. Looking forward to the show. It's been a minute, but this album is finally out. We're looking forward to it. Let's get right into it. So it is entitled Tales of the Slain. You guys are definitely no stranger when it comes to technical thrash death metal. And you guys do it a very, very good New Mexico style. But tell us about this album.
So it's been a long time coming. Like I had just said the other day, it's about like 8 years of hard work, 2 years of anxiety, and like 60 hours of graphic design.
So true.
So it took a long time, but I think we're like really happy with the final product. Just put a lot of work into it, and yeah, I feel like we're about to give birth.
It's coming.
Yeah.
The contractions.
Starting.
Yeah, it's just, trying to juggle life and family, work, all that stuff. But I think everybody's going to be pleasantly surprised with it.
Awesome. Well, I'd like to congratulate you. I was fortunate enough. I listened to some tracks prior to doing this interview to try to familiarize myself and to kind of get some good questions for you all regarding the album. And first and foremost, you did this album out in Santa Fe, correct? At the Decibel Foundry with Augustine Ortiz?
Yes.
Very cool. How did that whole thing happen? And tell us about working with him.
Well, we worked with Augustine with our last album, Hollowed Minds. So we really enjoyed working with his professionalism, his sound. He mixed and mastered everything. And he's a hardworking musician himself. So he knows exactly what we needed and what we wanted and how we can improve as well. So we just thought that was the best fit for us to go with him again for this album. So it's always a pleasure working with him. He's such a pro, and we're just fortunate that he's, our neighbor in Santa Fe, and we really want to help support, our local businesses as well.
The cool thing about Augustine is his values and everything are like really in line with us. He's all about like community. He's kind of like the hub of the metal scene out there in Santa Fe. Like he's always throwing shows. He provides recording space, practice space. He makes sure to, pay the bands, make sure the bands are taken care of. He's all about community. And the cool thing is when he recorded Hallowed Minds with us, just like us, getting started, we recorded like in his house and like
I recorded
in a basement.
of someone's house. And
and then now he worked his way up and he has like a really nice recording studio. It's like super pro. And so I think him and us, we've just like took everything to the next level. So we're just really happy to be working with him again. He's like super professional and very community oriented.
Yeah,
Nice.
He's a cool dude all around.
Yeah, he's, like you said, a hub for not just even Santa Fe. I think one of the premier producers in New Mexico, and in particular metal. He really has this knack for catching and capturing just these solid sounds, very organic, somewhat seamless. I use all those adjectives for what you've done on this album because it is organic, it is seamless, but it's also traditional in the sense like you listen to Slayer, Hell Awaits, and it's got those heavy build-ups and then bam, 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 goes nuts. What was kind of like your mindset when you guys were doing the production of this album? And what was he able to capture deep out of both of you?
I think when we were recording, he's like, I think I'm kind of feeling like old school, like Death, Testament feel. And we're like, yes. So yeah, kind of along the lines of that. And we're just trying to be like really, we want that Southwest sound, like melodic, but heavy, old school thrash, but not like retro. So it's like really modern and heavy and
all of our best influences thrown into one. So we grew up with a lot of melodic style, me being an orchestra and her being in classical guitar. So those really strung for us to have that big dynamic build up, and then just bam, you know, come in hot and heavy. And that's what I love about us, being able to do that, because we have so many dynamics throughout our songs, and it's a little bit of a roller coaster, but it's, you know, what makes us unique and sets us apart from other bands. And we've been doing this for 20 years, so every album that we've had is so different, and I feel like it just shows the growth of our technicality. So yeah, so we're happy.
yeah, absolutely, all the growth. And the cool thing about it is kind of like takes you on a musical journey, you know, with the intros and all that stuff. And and then lyrically it all, you know, there's a story behind everything. And you know, we're all about like women empowerment and, you know, telling the story of our history, and yeah, just growth.
So the title of the album, Tales of the Slain, very heavy topic, and just like what you brought up, you know, empowering women, but you are also advocates, you know, against domestic violence and indigenous women, and some of the plight of missing indigenous women, excuse me, things of that nature. So kind of get into the album specifically of that topic and how it kind of came together and what you're really telling some of the stories about.
So there's you know, a lot of the songs hit on, you know, like the West Mesa murders, you know, our friends that have been murdered and that are missing. And yeah, if you sit down with the lyrics, it's actually like really sad, you know, but it's just, and that's like the whole concept of the album is, it's the Tales of the Slain. So you have to like really learn and remember from the past in order to not repeat it. So we're just trying to bring awareness about, you know, like child abuse, domestic violence, you know, and then all the way back to, you know, land displacement and cultural genocide and all that stuff.
There is a lot of metaphorical meanings behind a lot of the lyrics. But as Amanda said, you know, we touch base on the West Mesa murders and telling those stories because they are the slain. They were victims, they were mothers, they were daughters, sisters, and that's who we are. We grew up on the West Mesa, so that was a heavy topic for us to, you know, even want to touch on, but it has to be said, it has to be remembered, and these women have to have some sort of justice. And if we can take a part of that in our community, we want to share that. And we do know some, excuse me, we do know some friends who are missing. One of our friends was taken by her boyfriend, and that's one of the songs, Firewoman. But it makes me happy playing that song rather than sad, because Amanda wrote that song to be able to highlight her, just her glow. Excuse me, sorry. It is emotional for us because she was such an amazing woman, and we didn't want to remember her the way she passed, but we wanted to remember her in her light and how much she just lit up a room. And so that song specifically is, you know, it's heartwarming for us because it's not just about her passing, it's about the light that she left even after her passing. So, excuse me.
All right, yeah. It's one question that I wanted to ask about that, or not. It's related to it because I brought it up at the beginning of the interview. The metal mamas and deadly aunties. That's no bullshit, man. You guys are crazy in that regard, because what I like though, it's the philosophy behind it. I have my own interpretation. Kind of tell us what it really means.
I think I really started using that once we became mothers. Amanda's been a mom before me. My daughter's 6, and it's just kind of a saying within like the indigenous culture that if you're a deadly auntie, you're like the coolest, most, you know, deadly person in the room. You're educated, you're badass, you know, you own your own business, or you're thriving, or whatever have you. You show that confidence, and you're deadly, you know, people look up to you. And we want to be able to show that, because it is a big thing in our community to be able to empower our future women, our girls, and business owners. And being metal mamas, you know, it's very, I don't want to say rare or maybe even taboo, but for women in the metal society, not a lot of us have children and still continue music. There's a lot more coming up now, which we know some amazing musicians who are metal mamas now, and that's what we want to highlight. You know, you don't have to just put the music aside because you became a parent, because you became a mom, because you became a dad. In a sense, for us, it's our therapy. So to be able to be those metal mamas and set an example for women who love metal and who just feel the angst of it some days and just really need to rock out to something that they feel in tune with, that's what we want to do. And that's right now our platform, and we never really had one before. And I think just going through life's, you know, just different things in life has really turned the page for us with this. And that's also Tales of the Slain, is, you know, leaving behind certain things that we've gone through and learning from those experiences and being able to tell the tales of those then times and moving forward into who we want to become, and still keep those tales going and still empower the people who are around us and encourage and influence them in a positive light. So not only does it sound dark, and behind it, us as women, we want it to come from, you know, a deeper place. So
Well, New Mexico should be very proud of you guys. Guys, it seems like just yesterday I remember seeing you on very young on stage at Launchpad, and now you guys are just ripping it. This new album really is fantastic work. I think you guys took some very painstaking measures to, again, come up with a fucking very seamless album, a very heavy album. I love it, and I'm looking forward to the show. What are you guys seeing as far as the scene in New Mexico? You guys are like huge now for our state, and you guys are a part of what the growth that we've seen a lot of metal bands taking. What kind of advice and what do you see out there that's catching your attention?
I think it's just really cool just to see all the younger bands coming up and, you know, working hard and, you know, starting to carry the torch and everything. And I love, you know, locally and even nationally how you're seeing more women in especially heavy extreme music. So I feel like when we got started, there wasn't a whole lot of women, and especially in extreme like heavy metal.
Right.
Or at least in our area.
Yeah, definitely not.
Many,
yeah.
But even as we grew, we started finding out about so many more bands, all female or female fronted, or just women in the bands, and we really just had to become a community and just really uplift each other. You know, there's times where we may have had insecurities or jealousies, but it's really about supporting each other so you can become better and better people, better humans. And I think touring is what really set that in mind for us, because when you're in a male-dominated genre and you're touring, a lot of times they don't, you know, they don't think that you can hang, and we had to really step it up and be like, yeah, we can hang, and you know, we can do this just as well as the guys can, and we're gonna tour and we're gonna get our name out there. And we were lucky enough to be able to go on tour with one of our own influences, Nervosa from Brazil. And that really set in motion us being able to get our name out and just show people that, you know, we're here in the Southwest, and we're still doing it, and we're not going to stop. You know, we're continuing to grow. Mandy and I have been jamming since 2003, so.
Speaking of bringing it, last week you guys did a show with Necrot at Inside Out, along with Egregious and Shadow Worship. Damn, that is a lineup, man. That was a really fun show. I mean, everybody was glowing that night. It was great to see Sunny. How did it feel to get out there and, you know, kind of like the pre-show to this show coming up?
It was a nice little preview. I think the last time we might have played Golden West, we weren't even 21 yet. We had to sit at this little table, so it was old Golden West, right? So Inside Out is old Golden West. So we were just reminiscing about the time when we had played there, when we had to sit at this little tiny table in the corner when we weren't even 21 before it burned down.
I didn't know you guys played there. That's awesome.
Like one of our very first shows as Suspended. So it was like full circle.
Yeah, it was pretty cool because we never played it Inside Out. So I was telling everybody like, oh yeah, this is the bar that we played at way back when.
Yeah.
circa what early 2000s,
Yeah.
but yeah,
You weren't even 21 yet.
yeah.
Dang. Yeah, like I was telling you, time goes by quick. It's
It was
pretty
a
crazy.
fun show. It was
That
a
was
really
good
show.
energy, definitely. Amanda, what do you, what, any new rig, anything, new guitars, anything like that for you, that new weapon, anything like that we can see on Saturday night?
I do have a little surprise, but
Oh,
so
cool.
you just gotta go and check it out. We got
Oh,
we got
shit.
some surprises for you guys. So.
Oh,
Like I said,
nice.
it's been a long time coming, so it's gonna be really special. We're just excited to finally release it, and we just want to celebrate with everybody and honor our matriarchs. You know, we're gonna do the Pueblo throw and just you know, like our little way of giving back to everybody for, you know, all the love and support for all these years. And you know, just like I said, it's been a long time coming, so we're super excited, and we hope you guys are too, and we hope you enjoy it.
Awesome. Well, congratulations. Tales of the Slain, brand new album from Suspended, Saturday night, May 9th at Launchpad. And again, let's see, you are going to be with Taj, Jacob Shije Trio, and Smoking Dolls and All Thicc. That's a hell of a lineup. That's a really good one. If you all haven't caught All Thicc, get there early. Smoking Dolls, I just caught them. I can't remember, a couple of weeks ago they ripped.
Yeah.
And I'm Taj, I remember them from Grants. They've been coming down a lot.
Yeah.
And Jacob Shije Trio, I'm looking forward to seeing those guys. Ladies, it's been a pleasure to do this and have some fun, and we'll have to do this some more.
Yeah.
And definitely shout out to Autumn
Autumn, yeah.
Concho.
Yes, indeed. Yes.
Anything else you want to tell the listeners and the viewers of 0 Hour Squared, as well as 94.5 KTBL The Pit?
Stay tuned, keep it local, come out to the show, and don't forget to bring your grab bags for the Pueblo throw.
Very cool. And socials, how do we get a hold of your stuff?
You can go to suspendedchicks.com, or, you know, just Google Suspended Chicks on
Suspended
TikTok.
Thrash on Instagram,
Yeah.
Facebook. We're on YouTube, Apple Music. We do have CDs at pre-sale right now. So if you go to suspendedchicks.com, you can order your pre-sale. So yeah,
Very
looking
cool.
for everyone else.
Vinyl? Will you have vinyl?
I wish. It was too expensive. So let's have a really good show, and hopefully we can get some vinyl.
All right. All right. Thank you, Amanda Castillo and Channing Concho from Suspended. This has been the 0 Hour Squared Classics, as well as 94.5 KTBL The Pit.